Hi there, Kat Matlock here at Free Body, and my passion in life is empowering people with knowledge and simple skills to get themselves out of pain. And we're in the midst of a series for sciatica sufferers. And one of the things I've seen with working with thousands of people over the last 28 years is that a lot of times people with sciatica have an non-level pelvis, a pelvis that kind of sits off kilter. And one hip sits a little bit higher than the other. When that happens, let's say the right hip sits higher than the other, then the lumbar spine will then curve in toward the right and out and open toward the left side. That is just a perfect setup for sciatica pain because it pushes that nerve out and that compress the nerve and the disc into each other and send you into horrific pain. Often the pain is on that long side. So let's say there's a sitting off to the right and the right hip hinks up and goes higher, and then the left side is open. Now for some people, their right hip naturally sits higher. Maybe you have a leg length inequality and the right leg is longer. So often what people will do is actually stand off to the left side, stand off to the low side, and to drop that other hip so that they're effectively leveling their own pelvis without even knowing it. So what we need to determine is, does the pelvis sit level? And if one side is sitting higher, then we're going to learn a simple practice to balance the pelvis. Are you ready? So let's begin by placing the hands on the top rims of the pelvis. These are the tops of the iliums, the sides of the pelvis. You want to get in front of a full-length mirror so that you can look and see, standing on 2 feet, nice and strong and tall, does one side of the pelvis sit higher? So I'm going to exaggerate a right hip sitting higher than the other. Oh, look at that. Now you can see with where the hands are that the right side of the pelvis is sitting higher. Okay, so that might be really a result of just standing on that right hip all the time. So what we need to do then, when the right hip sits higher, this side, the low back is short. The spine is being crunched short on the right side, and it's opening like a fan on the left side, which means that the muscles in the low back on the right side are short, and the muscles on the left side are long. Now, if you do physical therapy or exercises, and you do the same on both sides, you aren't going to be able to fix yourself. It's not your fault. Nobody ever told you before that you shouldn't do the same thing on both sides when you're trying to fix an imbalance. So in this scenario, right hip sitting higher, we need to lengthen the right side and strengthen the left side. I'm going to say that again. When the right hip is sitting higher, you need to lengthen the right side and strengthen the left side. So here's how you do that. You side bend to open the high side, and that's what I'll call the hip that's sitting higher is the high side. So you side bend to open the high side, and then you just do a straight leg hip lift. Just pull that hip up toward the shoulder on the left side to strengthen those muscles so that they can help keep your pelvis balanced and level. And then you lengthen the short side and strengthen the long side. Keep going. Lengthen the short side, strengthen the long side or the low side when you're standing. Lengthen, strengthen. 2 more times. Lengthen, strengthen. Last one. Lengthen. Feels so good. Strengthen. Hold it up there for an extra moment. And then drop the foot back down. Now, just do a little quick check back again in the mirror. Is your pelvis more level than it was before? Yes. Yes, it is. It's more level than it was before. And it might take you a little bit of time to get there, but I promise you, this is going to catapult you forward on your path to healing from sciatica symptoms, especially if you're having sciatica that's true sciatica in the low back. And even if you're having false sciatica coming from the glutes and the sides of the hips, this practice is a game changer. It's a total game changer. So I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe below. We're releasing a whole series of videos to help people with sciatica, simple things that you can do at home to get yourself out of pain. I'm Kat Matlock here at Free Body. Thanks for joining us.